As the gentlelady from North Dakota, Representative Fedorchak, for 5 minutes to ask your questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I at first want to step back and talk a little bit about the great work that's being done in combination with the President, your agency, and Congress. For the first time in 4 years, we're having spectrum auctions. That was completely ignored by the last administration at the peril of our country in very serious races against China on some of these technology fronts. Unleashing BEAD funding to help connect America to broadband. Deregulation, driving down costs, 1,000 regulations eliminated by your work alone. Modernizing satellite regulations, and protecting vital submarine cables. Those are just a few of the great things that are already being done, and it's only been a year. So thank you for your leadership. Thank you for delivering on many of the tools that Congress passed and gave you in the One Big Beautiful Bill. It's going to make a real difference to everyday Americans. With that, I want to pivot a little bit to a couple issues that are really important to my state. Universal service funding. Chairman Carr, North Dakota has been a leader in using universal service funding to help connect our state. We have one of the largest rural state broadband deployments of any place in the country. So for anybody looking to do that great work, North Dakota is a model and how it can be done. But moving forward, there's still a lot of uncertainty in the long-term plan for securing universal service, the Universal Service Fund. How should we be thinking about this, and what should Congress be doing? What sort of recommendations do you have?
Well, thank you, Congresswoman. Thanks for your leadership. I had the chance to visit North Dakota and see the great progress that's being made there, and obviously there's much more work we need to do. There's several actions we're taking on universal service. One is taking a look at our high-cost programs and how do we make sure that in this idea of a high-cost 2.0, what does the future of high-cost support look like? And we're going to be asking some questions about that. We're also looking at ways to make sure we bring new technologies online, including low Earth orbit satellites, freeing up spectrum, and permitting reform. I think all of those combined is why you see us finally turning things around, with prices coming down, with speeds going up, and with construction projects finally getting underway.
How should we be working to stabilize the fund, though?
The bicameral working group that the House and the Senate is involved in, I think can play a really constructive role. We talked in the Senate hearing at the end of last year about the FCC collaborating with that group, and I think we're going to start that process potentially as soon as this month to make sure that we're coordinated there.
And the timeline on that, how urgent is it to get some certainty here in this long-term funding pool?
Yeah, when you look at the life cycle of investments, particularly for rural broadband, it's over many, many years. And so we need to be able to step in and provide that long-term sustainability for these programs.
Okay, very good. I want to pivot a little bit. You mentioned the low Earth satellites, low Earth orbit satellites. The University of North Dakota just last year launched its Rhodes satellite mission, which established a dedicated satellite operations training facility at the University of North Dakota. I'd like to see more of this type of work, particularly with regard to competing with China. So how should Congress think about the FCC's role in this space, in particular in relation to competition with China and around the LEO satellites, Earth stations, and ITU coordination?
Well, China's made clear that they want to dominate when it comes to the delivery of next-gen services from space. They are predictably copying a lot of the technologies from U.S. providers. So one thing we have to do is go as fast as we can, so there's nothing holding back America's innovators from launching new satellites, next-generation satellites, and that's what we're doing. We're clearing out backlogs, and we're moving much faster.
Are you working on the satellite licensing timelines as well? I've heard that that's a program that's often a source of delay.
It's true. We're now working on a couple fronts. One, to eliminate whole categories of things that don't require either licenses or don't require certain types of lengthy coordinations. We're taking them out of the system, and we're moving to what we describe internally at the building as a much more assembly-like process, assembly line-like process, so that we give people clear parameters to shoot for with their applications, and they hit the mark, and it moves on, and get away from sort of a bespoke review process that slowed things down. We're seeing results. Again, this latest generation constellation that we approved, we went in about half the time as the prior one.
Very good. Mr. Chairman, if you need more tools from Congress, we're here to help. So thank you for your work. Mr. Chairman, I yield the remainder of my time.
Thank you. The chair